All right.
Should be good. All right. Welcome everybody to Scaling Lean's Weekly Live. You have Jonathan Floransky and Nina Brennan here to share with you the tidbits of sustainable scaling in the online industry. We're the co-founders of Scaling Lean, and every week we go live with wins, losses, successes, and failures that we've experienced in the online space, building multiple six and seven figures in the online space. We're here to just bring some transparency to the online industry for coaches, consultants, agency owners, or really anybody with a high ticket offer. We've worked with doctors, hypnotherapists, lawyers, etc. We just really want to give some raw and real feedback that we see on the daily basis, the weekly basis, the monthly basis, the quarterly basis, and even a yearly basis at this point. So today what we're going to be talking about is our seven-figure conversion system that we have worked tediously to build over the last 2 years, actually 3 years now, JP, right? I've known you 3 years.
Yeah.
Geez, time is flying by, man. But yeah, over the last 2.5, 3 years that we've been in the trenches, just building and building and building, perfecting. And it's never going to be perfect, but we're always going to continuously build on top of it, which most people don't do. So that's what we're here to talk about today is a couple of the features that we have released inside of conversionpro.io, our software that has scaled multiple six and seven figure businesses. So with that being said, JP, I'm going to pass the mic over to you. I'm really excited about this topic. So we have a special surprise coming out Monday. So take it away.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing more of that special surprise, Nina. Welcome everyone to the live. Yeah. I see a few of you on here. Just let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, and Nina's up in Longmont, Colorado, which is a little bit north of Denver. Love knowing where you're tuning in from. Maybe if you're in the area, we could connect on a networking event, or I don't know, even set up a Zoom call or something and help you audit some of your systems and processes to help you scale efficiently. So that being said, Nina, yeah, I know right before this live event, we were reflecting on a piece of content that we saw because oftentimes Nina and I will be scrolling socials and we'll share a post or a video into each other's messenger just for creative inspiration and also just to see what the market is saying, right? So why don't we hop into that, Nina, and then we can kind of segue into some of those features and amazing things that we've really developed over the past 3 years inside the seven-figure conversion engine.
Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit before we hop into exactly what you just said with going over the video and the inspiration that we found for this live. Let's talk about visionary versus integrator, because I feel like that's a perfect transition into what we're going to be talking about today. And at the end of the day, Jonathan and I are both visionaries, but we're even better integrators. And that's where we thrive. And that's where we learn that we thrive in business is like, we don't just pop up with ideas and we're like, boom, we're going to do it. We set a goal and then we reverse engineer the goal all the way down to like the final micros and macros. And I think that's super crucial for integrators because then you could chunk it down and have step by step. And that's the best way that we operate in our quote unquote visionary, which I would say is like the numbers is what drives the vision. It's not the vision of like this grand scheme things. It's like, what do we want our lifestyle to look like? What does the number take to get there? And then we reverse engineer it. Whereas I feel like visionaries, they always have these amazing ideas, and a lot of coaches that we work with and a lot of just business owners in general that we work with have these amazing ideas. They're rapid fire. They're always in their creative flow, and the integration of the business side of things bogs them down. And it's very hard to operate as a past 10K a month, I should say, but even past 5K a month as a visionary to operate inside of a business because the business side of business is actually very technical and it takes a lot of integration in order to get there. And I think that's a perfect segue, JP, and you can take the mic from there and we can just head in.
Yeah, absolutely. As your business scales, I love that. You definitely need to identify your strengths and weaknesses, whether you are more of that integrator or visionary. We've been in multiple live events, right, over our years, and we kind of always hit that spot inside of the event where we identify and like notice the visionary, and they're kind of the one that's just like you said, they're kind of moving very fast. They're thinking of a lot of new ideas. And then in a sense, if you kind of picture it in your head, they create like a little bit of like debris, right? Because they're constantly creating and like in some senses they're moving too quickly, right? Where they could just be kind of settling in. And with data analytics and database decisions behind the visionary, that it would empower them to step into their power more and really identify the things to make them even 2 or 3 or even 4x more powerful in their message, their vision, and work on bigger things that will increase their sales, their client processes, and everything. So yeah, and then on the other side, if you're more of the integrator, right, it's super important to have that movement of the visionary, right? Because as integrators, we oftentimes will be more of the analytical side, so we may be more prone to staying stagnant in the things that we're doing, and not as willing to take that new opportunity or really go up against that upper limit of pushing through to that next level of vision that the business needs to really move everyone forward, move the entire tribe forward. So yeah, that's kind of my perspective, Nina. And I think it is super important to identify early on. There's loads of personality tests that Nina and I have taken, Enneagrams and Myers-Briggs. There's a whole bunch of different tests out there. So we'd love to chat with you about that if you ever have questions. Like it's a very important thing that we learned to really help our business partnership grow over the years, right? And then also when we're working with clients, it's also good to kind of identify like where are they on that spectrum so we can help them achieve their goals the most effectively, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to segue into this next portion because you just covered that beautifully of like finding your people that are going to complement the other side is really the synopsis of everything you just said. And I think the perfect segue here is as integrators, business is boring and repetitive. And a lot of people don't want to do boring and repetitive, but boring and repetitive is what scales a business. And
Mm.
like over time, it's like I had trouble because my initial role in business was just like being a TikTok creator and just like filing leads and filing people into our system, right? And super fun and all. Of course, there was like the coaching side, which was super fun and connecting with clients and the onboarding. But that's what I thought what a business was I was spoiled by the TikTok algorithm in 2022 or 2020 to 2022. JP, obviously you were part of that journey too, doing all the integration on the back end and stuff. But at the end of the day, there was no vision behind it except create and create and create. And that's where I felt like my visionary side was challenged because once there wasn't that spoiledness from a platform that was giving my creative side that ego boost of what I needed, then I had to actually build a business the right way, which was the actual copywriting, which is the foundation. It was the system and the processes and the building the SOPs and building the software behind what actually makes a business move. And then it was also learning the numbers of what's going to create that predictability. And I thought I was a visionary because I thought that, I could stay in my creative. But then when I realized that becoming the data operator of your business is what's truly going to scale a business, I had to retake my Myers-Briggs test and I had to retrain my entire mind into an integrator mindset to realize that at the end of the day, I was an integrator rather than a visionary that I thought I was. That's where we sit happily, though. And I kind of want to talk about that number that Huffington Post came up with about the coaching industry and the agency industry is only 5% of coaches that have the idea of becoming coaches and going full time will actually become full time coaches at the end of the day and stay in consistency with that full time coaching, having a business. And let's say that again very clear. Only 5% of people that aspire to be coaches and agency owners will actually have it for the long term. And I think it's because a lot of people think that starting a business is really just driving leads and serving clients. But at the end of the day, that's just having an offer. And building a business takes a lot more than just having one offer and driving clients. You might as well just be a freelancer at that point and just, rely on referrals. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you because I just spoke for about 2 minutes straight, according to my phantom. And then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat, and I thought that was kind of eye-opening. And I know, uh, kind of touching on a little bit there, like we've kind of went through a lot of different training, and we're along the lines. You mentioned your Enneagram shifted and your personality traits shifted, and I think as entrepreneurs, that's super important, and that's what sets us as entrepreneurs different than most people in like the normal people, I guess you'd say, and that are like more of on the 9 to 5 worker side because we adapt and grow. And we don't like that stagnation. So we've been through training with Sam Ovens in particular that comes to mind, like the paradigm and the worldview, right? Where we kind of question the things that are the opposite of what we do right now, and we kind of lean more into those things. For example, maybe you're a person that lives in the city, and you're really enthralled in the business like vibe of the city, the fast pace, taking yourself and going out into the country and seeing how you adapt to that, right? And seeing how it affects your business, how it affects your personal in the long run. Kind of digress there, but it was kind of eye-opening for me when I heard that initially, Nina, for the 5% thing. But when I really started to think about it, it made a lot of sense because as coaches in the online space, we're experts, right? So there's people that are experts in finance, there's people that are expert in relationship coaching, there's people that are experts in marketing, there's people that are experts in virtually any niche that you want to pick. They come online, oftentimes with a load of expertise in these fields, working for major Fortune 500 companies in some senses, but they don't fully grasp the business that needs to be built from the front to the back. So I believe the reason they probably fail is ultimately because they don't understand all the different departments of what it takes to really build a business. You need marketing, you need sales, you need client fulfillment. And oftentimes what I think we've seen more common than most is they are more of the visionary and more of the person that can fulfill and help the client get the result. But they don't really have the amount of time and energy to do all of that expertise that they're best at, while also building the system, being the tech guy, running the ads, growing their business, and identifying cold markets that they can penetrate, right? Writing copy for emails, building email sequences that will follow up with people automatically, right? Building data tracking systems to understand if I put $1 in, it's going to come back in X amount of days and I can put more money into it, right? So I think that's ultimately my perspective on why we're seeing that rate that low, like only 5% success rate. That's very low. And I'd be interested to hear your perspective. I'm sure you're kind of on the same line, right? Like we kind of hit this place where we have coaches that are really good at marketing and sales, and we have coaches that are a little bit weaker in marketing and sales, and they oftentimes have problems kind of getting the business rolling and building their pipeline. They're masters at success when it comes to getting the client in the door, but that's sometimes the sticking point that they hit along with the tech side as well.
Yeah, and please, I don't want anybody to take this as I'm coming at a visionary or an integrator, but I feel like a lot of times, including myself, and I want to put that out there, when I was operating in a visionary mindset, I made a lot of business decisions out of emotion rather than data. And like there was a lot of control that came with that. So it's like I thought I could be in control because I thought I knew best of what the people that I was serving wanted. Whereas like at the end of the day, when we started running paid advertising and data started coming into the equation, my equation was completely wrong and faulted as quote unquote the visionary and the creator of my business. Whereas like when we started approaching everything, and I mean everything from copywriting standpoint, how people move through our system, how we conduct sales, how we do follow up, when we started systematizing it and looking at the numbers, it became so much easier to make the decisions to scale. And like that's where I realized that I had to shift my entire business mentality to the data operator rather than the visionary. But this is not everyone's case. You don't have to do that. Like we decided to do that because like that's how we chose to operate our business. But that's why you do need the visionary and also the integrator on your team, because you can operate fully in your visionary and be the creator to build the brand. And there's two fundamental things of marketing that I see. It's one is brand, which JP, I can't say that's our strong suit, is like the brand side of things, of the graphics, the personalities and everything like that. But then there's also the advertising, which is direct response. And direct response copywriting, direct response advertising, which is more so paid advertising and disruptive marketing, it's getting people through the door, and the brand is what actually converts. And like you could do direct response to convert people right away. Like our whole thing is you can close deals from 72 hours to 21 days. Great. Direct response, get people to move. But if you have a strong brand, which visionaries are amazing at building strong brands, you have the best of both worlds, driving traffic in and converting them with your personality and like your vision and like how you are as a creator. And I just want to put that out there. If you focus on both, your brand can really scale, but you need to have the data and the numbers behind it to know what kind of things you should bring to the branding side and the marketing side on the organic and everything like that. And I'm going on a tangent again, JP, so stop me before I go.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love that. I'm totally aligned with what you're saying there too. And the one thing that also came in is like having that world-class irresistible offer, right? Like you want to have that that offer that's just hitting that unique value proposition that is different than most other people. And that's where I believe there's a lot of challenge with folks that come online is like there's just so many different components. They have this amazing idea, they have this amazing experience, but they don't understand or they struggle to communicate that offer um, with the market. And I mean, we deal with this too. It's not like we're it's not like we're invisible to this. We have to help our clients deeply understand and get a deep understanding of who their ideal client is, who their ideal market is, and who their ideal like message is to communicate with that ideal market, right? So that's just something I thought of there. And Marriage in the comments says, I feel Skool was a massive for online coaches this year. What would you say the biggest move is going to be for online coaches in 2025? Yeah.
I think it's Skool.
What's that?
I think Skool is going to be like the next big thing for the next like 6 to 12 months because like it is like the craze and it's the two biggest of in the online industry with agency owners and coaches. It's like those are the people like Alex Hormozy and Sam Ovens are leading it. You can't really go wrong. And it's like everyone's going to get on the wave and stay on the wave. The same thing as like, paid advertising from 2016 to 2019, give or take. Like Facebook ads was the thing to do before, the organic TikTok kind of came into play. That's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I see. How about you, JP?
Yeah, absolutely. Skool definitely brought an amazing opportunity to us. It was awesome. We were on board with Sam Ovens on the Sam Ovens train, and then we heard that he partnered with Alex, and it was like, wow, like I was
No
kind of
brainer.
amazing. And the thing that caught me off guard is what I heard that was Alex Ramose's biggest investment that he ever made was to make that move into investing in Skool. So
Ooh,
he's
can I interject here real quick? So I'm sorry to cut you off, JP, but this is a perfect example of why we started this conversation, visionary versus integrator, right? So Alex Hormozy, he's obviously an integrator, but Layla is more of the integrator in their business. But the reason that the two, Sam Ovens and the Hormozys partnered was because Alex brought the traffic and the presence, and Sam Ovens brought the idea and like the backing. So he said this in Skool games. Hint, hint, we're in Skool games. Something coming up, surprise, surprise. But Alex Hormozy was talking about the perfect kind of partnership of like the visionary and the integrator. And like Sam Ovens in this case was the integrator, where what's his name? Alex Hormozy was the visionary to bring the Skool games and leading that force and everything and drive into the amazing community that Sam Ovens built or community platform that Sam Ovens built. So just wanted to put that out there. That's a perfect example of what we're talking about with the visionary and the integrator.
Yeah, so going back to marriage there, like I believe that Skool is definitely a very impactful platform, 100%. They're going to be building onto it. I mean, we launched ours, Tuesday, Wednesday, and
Yeah, too.
we have 40 people in it already.
And
That's,
we didn't even do promotion for it yet. That was
yeah,
only people that we invited.
yeah. So I believe in 2025, that's going to be a major component for us moving forward, potentially moving completely away from the group here. We'll see as we go, which is kind of funny because we have 1,800 members and we built this about 2 years ago. So fully organically for the most part. We have some ads trickling in, but nothing major. But anyway, we're definitely going to be leaning more into Skool 100%. And I really do believe to really set you apart as a coach or a consultant or even service provider in 2025, having the follow-up systems and is more important than ever. And I've not only made this like this isn't just my opinion. I've heard this from Grant Cardone. I've heard this from all the big people in the space, right? You see, Russell Brunson doubling down on tech. You see, like all of these big companies go high level, right? Um, they're going deeper with the tech side because it's more important than ever to build that personal brand and extend that journey and follow up with your leads and get the value in front of them and get them into your Skool community or get them into your Facebook group and really just nurture them and give them that sense of purpose and like bring them into your tribe and really grow your presence, right? Even if it's not a sale right now, people need to consume things. We had a client just past couple weeks here that closed a deal from a lead that was in her system for 3 years. So like it's not uncommon that happens, right?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of want to bring in, because I know that we talked about our seven-figure conversion system as the title. I really want to bring in what we've been working on in conversionpro.io. And if anybody who is watching this, like, we're go high level freaks. We love the platform. We have a team that's built on the back end that's basically developing the platform with go high level. And we have our own white label version of it called conversionpro.io. And over the last 2+ years, 2.5 years, Jonathan and I have been working together tediously to really understand what turns cold traffic from Facebook ads and Instagram ads into high ticket clients, low ticket clients, just prospects in general. And that's what our system is all about. We're really conversion focused here at Scaling Lean. Like we love driving cold traffic. It's our sweet spot for our business. We're really, like I was saying before, it's branding is not really our thing in terms of like graphics and things like that. We're working on it. We're partnering with a company that's going to help us build it. But really what we're so good at is writing good copy to drive people into a system. And we built the system over time to move people from cold to close in a very quick fashion, or if they don't close quickly, to nurture them correctly in order to get them to close over time. I think our longest sales cycle, JP, was like 2+ years. So we know how to do that nurturing on the back end. Again, it's cold to close. And I want to talk about Conversion Pro a little bit because Go High Level is amazing. And what we've built inside of our white label is phenomenal, in my opinion. I think it's one of the best on the internet based on all the things that I've seen and systems that I've audited. Like we really know what we're doing with all the studying that we've been doing as integrators.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. And as we bring new members onto our team, they're really helping add to that value piece as well, right? Because by no means are we the best at everything, right? Like it's so awesome when we onboard a new person to really get their perspective,
Yeah.
and even client feedback, right? Like we've really made some amazing strides this year, and yeah, so really what we've honed in is a full build, right? It's everything you need, pre-templated from your call survey to your opt-in forms, your outbound forms. If you're doing outbound outreach, we have uh, a way for you to see and follow up with your leads that way. We have the email in there, we have the text in there. So we have all those nurture sequences pre-built and templated inside of our course. And for our done for you clients, we build all those for them, 100% done for you. More on the consulting side, it's more of a take the template and write your own, and we'll audit it for you inside of the mastermind community, or on the group coaching calls. But for the most part, we love working with the coaches that are above 10K that are really looking for that system to get them the 50 to 100K a month, right? So we write all the copy for them and do all the ads and the system side. But going back into the system, yeah, we have all the funnels pre-built, pre-tested. We're constantly evolving, testing landing pages, VSLs. We're on the cutting edge, and it's super exciting because we're super grateful because we teamed up with Go High Level like back in 2020, right? They were at the ground level. Well, basic from what I see right now, their product right now to what it was back then is completely a game changer. So we definitely made the right move because they've heavily invested in their product. So we feel really good about the future of where we're headed because we're aligned with them, and everything that we've built over the years is just compounding and compounding, and we're building relationships with people that have been in that business since 2018 and older, right? So it's just a really amazing place to be, on side of the tech, because it's just in the future it's just going to be more and more important, I believe. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring it back to the visionary versus the integrator and that 5% of coaches that are actually going to be successful. And I feel like this is a large portion of like what we see with both of our, like the prospects that we're talking to, the consulting clients that we've had, and also the done for you services that we've worked with, or our done for you services with the clients that we've worked with. People that don't understand that a software system like Go High Level or ConversionPro.io in our case is the heart of your business are typically people that fail. So there's a lot of people in the online industry that, they teach about organic content, they teach about paid ads, they teach about any way to drive leads. I think those are really the only two ways, or referral based. But unless you have a place to host your leads, nurture them really completely, and understand the buyer's journey, which is really what, in our case, like Go High Level does best / Conversion Pro does best. Like, we track every single movement. Like, you give me your email and phone number, I'm going to stalk you inside of my CRM system. That's just how it works. And like at the end of the day, like the coaches and consultants and the agency owners and even agencies that do this for their clients that don't understand that your software system is going to hold all of this information and help you understand your clients if you know how to read the proper data, like that's the heart that's going to scale your business. And if you don't have a software system in place that's going to be doing the lead tracking, the automation, the nurturing, the pipeline development, and all the things that we have built and tested over time and proven over time, run multiple seven figures through and hundreds of thousands of prospects, like that is what gives us all the information to make the decisions that we make every single day inside of our business and our clients' businesses. And I didn't know this when I first started. Like we scaled, I think we made our first like almost $200,000 online without having a CRM system. We could have probably doubled or even tripled that if we had that in place from the very beginning of business, in my personal opinion. When we were on TikTok and driving leads into our system, like we didn't have the information or the follow-up processes in place. So all the people that scheduled calls with us or came into our Facebook community, we weren't collecting their data enough to nurture them. And I really do think that if we started way back, way back, JP, like that could have been a lot stronger than what it is obviously today. Or whatever, that wasn't right, but it could have been a lot stronger back then as it is today, I should say.
Yeah, and I love what you said there, Nina. And what's so amazing about it is, like for instance, like think about this week, Nina, we adapted to the market, right? So we've heard about the Skool games for a while now, right? And we've just been a little bit resistant because we haven't put any energy into it. But we're like, hey, why don't we start a Skool community? And having that conversion engine in place with the leads, right? We were able to send out one email and instantly move 40 leads over the past couple of days into that new asset, the thing that's trending, right? So say there's a new social media platform that pops up in a year, like TikTok goes away and there's some new shiny thing. We start blasting on that. And then, yeah, we divert those people onto that platform from our ecosystem, and it's just going to explode. So that's the power of having and owning your traffic. I mean, that's just one benefit, right? And it's super important because like you said there, like you all were just kind of functioning on platform. So imagine if you had a system of 4,000 leads and you like put those leads on some of your content, how it would have completely changed the game for you. And I think that might be ultimately why that percentage is so low in success, because people don't have that long-term vision that they need. Because if you collect a lead through paid ads today, that lead might not convert for 21, 60, 90, 12 months, right? They might take a different medium or a different marketing message because you adapt over time, even just with the little intricacies in your promo cycles and stuff like that. So I think that might be one of the biggest factors in why coaches fail is they don't capture that data. They have no idea what data they're collecting. And then they ultimately get frustrated because they run out of their warm market and then they have nothing. So that's definitely a factor, I think, in that statistic of only like 5% success rate.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the idea of lead capture as well, of there's a wrong way to do it and a right way to do it. And again, we don't know everything in the online industry, but this is a sweet spot that we've seen before. It's proper tagging metrics and putting people in the right pipelines when they opt in certain cases. So a lot of times I see across the internet, organic coaches or just coaches in the online space that never really scaled the business, talking about how email marketing is like, you need to grow your email list. You need to grow your email list. But they don't give the foundation as to like how to actually grow an email list correctly to nurture the leads the right way. So it's like, yes, drive people to an email list and then email them every single day. Like what we do is we have different segments and different tracking. And of course, we always go to collect the phone number as well because SMS marketing is I think, one of the highest ROAS that you can get if you are running paid ads. But at the end of the day, it's like proper segmenting and proper tagging inside of an email list so you know how to follow up with people with personalization and relevance is one of the most crucial things that you could do inside of a business. And I don't care if you're using Go High Level, if you're using Active Campaign, God, if you're still using MailChimp, whatever. But that is something that's going to be a foundation. And inside of Conversion Pro, we have everything segmented for our clients that just buy into it, which is the same price as Go High Level. And it's like that alone, I think, has helped sitting inside of the CRM such an easier process because I know how to call leads and be like, hey, I saw you opted in for XYZ, or text them, hey, I saw that you got XYZ. Usually people will check this out afterwards because we know the buyer's journey of how our clients are actually, or prospects, I should say, are moving through the system. So we know what marketing assets to place where and how to whom in order to move them down the sales pipeline. And I think that's super crucial. It's like growing your email list is great, yes, but growing your email list with proper tagging metrics and segments creates relevance and personalization that really just moves people the right way when you want them to move.
Absolutely.
Anything to add on top of that, JP?
No, I think that's it, Nina. I think we covered a lot today, and I'm grateful to see some comments in the chat here from Tara and Marge. So yeah, why don't you take us out? I know we got some exciting things going on with the Skool community and uh something going on Monday. Give us a hint.
Yeah, for sure. So we had our founder members inside of our Skool community. We only connected with a few people, sent out a couple of emails, and invited a few people to our community, and that's why we have 40 people in there already. So shout out to the people that got the email. If you are somebody who got the email and you didn't join yet, just know that this is invite only for the first couple of days where you get some special features before we launch on Monday. With that being said, there's going to be a huge promo for our Skool group on Monday. So if you want to be one of the founding members, all you have to do is DM me, either me or JP, and we can get you in there before we move into our next phase, which starts Monday. So with that being said, look out for our emails, text messages, and posts inside the Facebook group on Monday. And we'll see you next Thursday at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I believe, with one of our clients, Elle Ross. She's amazing at Instagram Reel strategy, building the Instagram, and really just scaling your business with organic content. With that being said, we'll see you then.
Yeah. See y'all next week. Tara, yeah, well, I'll reach out to you in a moment here about Conversion Pro. Yep.